You are not a rehab center for badly raised men or broken women. You are a destination, not a layover. So I want you to stop crossing oceans for people who would never in their life think about even jumping a puddle for you. Stop calling it loyalty when it is self abandonment. Stop doing that to yourself, okay? Stop confusing potential with promise. They're two different things. The next time you meet someone, don't fall in love with who they could be. Look at who they are today at this very moment. Look at their integrity today. Look at their effort today. Potential does not pay emotional rent. Y'all don't hear me. Look, if someone has nothing to offer but a need to be saved, don't you walk away, you run. Because you deserve to be loved for your presence and not your production. Welcome to Win-Win with Gwen, hosted by Gwendolyn Shores, author, inspirational speaker, transformational coach, and CEO of Minds Above Matters. This is the podcast where your dreams ignite, limits shatter, and action leads to the life that you deserve. Your breakthrough starts now. Welcome back, guys, to the Win-Win with Gwen podcast. I am your host, Transformational Coach Gwendolyn Shores, and I am the author of the book, Get Beat to Get Better, the CEO of Minds Above Matter. And as always, I want to remind you that this space is your sanctuary for healing and growth. Before we go in for it, I need you to do something for me. I need you to not be a gatekeeper. If you know somebody who is pouring from an empty cup right now into a leaky bucket, share this episode with them. Don't be a gatekeeper. And guys, please subscribe, follow, and send this to a friend who keeps loving people back to health while slowly disappearing themselves. Now let's take a deep breath, guys. Woo, that felt good. Because today is going to be a day where we touch something tender inside of you. We're talking about being the stepping stone. You know, when your project becomes your heartbreak, when you give too much of yourself to someone who doesn't stick around. Let me paint this picture for you because I want to tell you about this friend of mine. And I'm not going to call her by her name, but she said I could talk about her today, so I could talk about her. I had this friend and she was looking for love. And in that search, she met this guy. We're going to call him Marcus. Now, Marcus didn't look like much on paper. He didn't have a car. He had a lot of debt. His resume was dusty and he had low confidence. But my friend didn't see a mess now. She saw somebody with potential. She saw a soul that just needed someone to believe in them. And for 5 years, she became the architect of this man's life. She paid off his credit card so his score could breathe again. She stayed up late proofreading his essays so he could finally finish that degree. She encouraged him when he wanted to quit. She brought the first suit he wore to the interview that landed him his first high-paying job. She didn't stop there. She cooked. She cleaned. She made love. She managed the house. She dimmed her own light so dim in order for his to shine. She loved that man back to health. Now stay with me, okay? One cold and rainy day, Marcus came home looking and acting funny. He was acting brand new, as we would say. He came in the door, he was all polished up in a nice suit. He had confidence. He had upgraded, y'all. But he didn't come home to say thank you. He came home to say, I don't think that this is working between you. He said he needed someone who matched his new lifestyle, someone who was classier, who didn't weigh as much, because she was a plus size girl, someone who didn't remind him of who he used to be when he had less, when he was struggling. She was a mirror into his past, guys. And just like that, he walked out the door with the credit score she built, the degree she helped him earn, and the confidence she helped him to restore. He didn't just leave my friend, honey. He left my friend discarded. Ooh, we had to deal with that and work through it, but we got through it. He treated her like she was a scaffold around a finished building. You know, it's necessary during the construction, but unwanted once the structure is standing. You builders know what I'm talking about. Now, if you felt that in your chest, I need you to stay with me. I need you to stay with me because this happens more than we care to admit. So this is to the one who was used. I'm talking to you right now. I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me clearly. You were not good enough. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, you were too good. Somewhere along the way, you confused being needed with being valued. You poured into someone because deep down, part of you believed you had to be useful in order to be lovable. And that's the survivor complex. That's what that is, babe. When you feel responsible for someone else's growth because it validates your worth, that's what that looks like. But a relationship is not a charity program. It is not a mentorship, okay? It is not a rehabilitation center. If you have to build a partner, you are not looking for love. You're looking for proof that you matter. And baby, you matter. You don't have to look for that proof. Just take it from Coach Gwendolyn. You matter. And here's the hard truth, okay? Hold on tight to your seat. People stay where they are valued, not just where they are needed. If the foundation of your connection was their need for you, the bond expires the moment that need is met. Yes, they're out of there once you give them what they need, honey. Let that sink in. Now, let me speak to the one who uses. Oh, did you think you were not going to be talked to today if you're listening? Why does someone allow another person to build them up only to walk away once they're standing tall? Often it's insecurity wrapped around that ego. Ooh, I love to talk about the ego. You resent the person who saw you at your lowest because they are a living reminder that you once needed help. It's okay to need help. And once you reach a new level, you want a clean slate. You want rooms full of people who only know the polished you. But the old you matters too, honey. So you leave the one who saw the construction site. Here's the part nobody talks about. Here's the part they don't talk about. The why they leave. Because the why they leave tells you everything you need to know. When someone discards you after you invested in them, that's not a reflection of your value, babe. It's a reflection of their character. That's a character flaw. And I need you to hear this next part with your whole spirit. Listen. You are not a rehab center for barely raised men or broken women. You are a destination, not a layover. So I want you to stop crossing oceans for people who would never in their life think about even jumping a puddle for you. Stop calling it loyalty when it is self abandonment. Stop doing that to yourself, okay? Stop confusing potential with promise. They're two different things. The next time you meet someone, don't fall in love with who they could be. Look at who they are today at this very moment. Look at their integrity today. Look at their effort today. Potential does not pay emotional rent. Y'all don't hear me. Look, if someone has nothing to offer but a need to be saved, don't you walk away. You run because you deserve to be loved for your presence and not your production. And if they're not choosing you, force you to choose yourself, then you win, honey. I want you to give yourself a high five. Yes, physically, give yourself a high five because it takes strength to admit you were overbuilding. If this message is for you or for someone you know, subscribe to the Win-Win with Gwen podcast. Share it. And I want you to leave a comment and tell me, are you ready? Are you ready to stop being a fixer and start being a partner? Because you deserve to be someone's partner and not their fixer. I read those comments, guys, and I want to hear from you. I see you. Healing is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear, okay? And clarity will save you years of wasted time. I believe in you 101%, but you have to believe in yourself that extra 1%. And I almost forgot. Let me tell you this. You got to do the work. Yes, I've said every episode, and today is no different. So there you go. You've got to do the work. and the work extends further to here. So go and do more work outside of the Win-Win with Gwen podcast. Until next time, I'm Coach Gwendolyn Shores, and this is the Win-Win with Gwen podcast. Guys, choose yourself. That's right. Choose yourself. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. And remember, we don't build broken foundations over here, honey. We build win-win. I love you guys. See you next time. Keep doing that.